Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Message from Your Guide. My name is Karen Kartika, transformational coach and holistic healer. We're approaching the end of the second month of the year, and we are in the waxing gibbous moon phase, in which if you look out the sky and at night, you're starting to see the beautiful moon showing its full face almost. But the full moon's not going to happen until this Saturday, February 24th at 7:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's about 4:30 a.m. in Pacific, and that means 7 p.m. here in Asia, in Jakarta time. I don't know if you are feeling it, but it's a lot that show up in my own world that ask me to transmute certain patterns in my life, whether it's conscious or unconscious. So let me give you an example. I had my summit, I had my workshop, and I'm starting to speak to a lot of wonderful people who are coming my way, and we're, all the energy has been beautiful, and it also opened up so many other doors that I never really thought was there to begin with. And conversation was just flowing. I even had this experience that felt like I opened a portal right in the middle of a very busy area in, the capital city of Indonesia, which is Jakarta, out of something that is a synchronistic meeting. But all of that, I felt like with all those high energy, I still came back home feeling really depleted and anxious. And if you're hearing a helicopter right now, one is just passing by. And I'm not in my regular setup because I pack my microphone and everything like that in my suitcase. And I'm like, oh, forgot that I need those to record this. But anyway, I'm digressing. The helicopter was so loud because it was just so much kind of like, yes, that vibrations of like solid and round and focus and determined. And I sort of kind of lost those energy, and especially I guess after like the height of everything that came together. In the beginning I said, okay, maybe I was just tired, but the tiredness linger for a while, and I couldn't really get my energy to start focusing again, just like that helicopter focus, right? Really full of potential and brown and ready to go. So during that time when I felt like I was opening a portal, I met a new friend, and we exchange our experiences. And she mentioned about this healer that suddenly just piqued my interest, and I said, I want to try and work with this person, just because I was feeling this lethargic and I was feeling it in my body. I'm like, I need to know what's going on. So I went in, set up the appointment, and it was just the exact appointment that I needed, with the right person who can help me doing it, because he's also a hypnotherapist and he's also energy healer. So he's going in, not just, doing a lot of the cognitive work, but go deep into the subconscious, which for me, as I was experiencing it, I knew this is not something that's kind of like hidden outside of my point of view. In the coaching world, we always say, you can't really see your blind spot. And I really need to help, and it really need the help to find, to see what is hidden in the blind spot. So I didn't realize this until I spoke to this person, that in my own words, as I was expressing things, as I was requesting help, as I was needing directions, I was pouring out what I felt and I wanted to, let go so I can focus my energy to. He heard a lot of fear words embedded in my sentences. And I was like, wow, okay, thank you for that. Because here I was sitting thinking and believing, and because this has always been who I am, that I am not a person that fear anything. I like to experience things, life. I'm not shy as long as it makes sense, or I know I can protect my own safety and security. I'm willing to take a jump and learn and find out and transform myself in the process so that I can be a better person. And yet during the conversation that I had with this healer, he pointed out where I said those fear words. And that's why that was just an eye-opening session for me, because then I got to allow myself energetically to open to what is it that I have been hiding internally, subconsciously. And during the process, he shared the famous prayer of Ho'oponopono. How do you say it? Let me just get the right pronunciation. Ho'oponopono. And you've probably heard this. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And because I came with some physical ailments, my body was just tense, which I had for a long time, but specifically in the neck, jaw, neck, and shoulder area, it was really tight, so tight that it was very uncomfortable. And he told me to start saying the words throughout my whole energy center, through my part of my body is everywhere, starting from the top down to my organs, and you know, because I'm doing healing in the body, so we went step by step to heal. We are not talking about relationship, which if you do have something going on in your life where you're kind of like, oh yeah, I have this pain in the butt person that I probably need to do this, then please do send it, because it's not about, I think something that I said last week on my video, it's not about being okay with what the person did to you or allowing the same behaviors to be present or be friends with people who have certain set of beliefs or characteristics that you don't approve on, but it's them. Your energy should not be focused on them by continuously criticizing or sending whatever words to them. Because when you do that, you're expanding your own energy, you're letting go, you're releasing your own energy to get focused in that. And like it or not, you continuously perpetuating the same energy, not just between you and the person, but everywhere else, because what you're going to find out is that same person is going to show up in your life over and over and over again until finally you realize that you need to let this go. So use this prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Just by visualizing this person, you don't have to think much. You don't have to like give reason. This is part of the process. Do not intellectualize it. Do not try to put a lot of reasons why I have to forgive this person, blah, blah, blah. No, just have the person's in your visual mind, in your mind's eye, say the word and then let it go. So I was doing this during the session. I'm actually doing it throughout my body. I was so relaxed and calm and flooded with an energy of love that I've never experienced, even in my years of practicing Reiki, energy healing, and visualizing and pulling and channeling the energy of the divine, the universe, and earth. Because part of it, as I was doing the step by step, I was not just forgiving my body. At one point, the point of view shift where my body and part of my bodies are forgiving me. And I am a person who's very, what's the nice word to say. I'm very critical of myself. I'm not just gonna lie. I'm very critical of myself because I really want my life in a certain way. I love beauty. I love organization. I love things to be nice and comfortable for me, safe, secure, protected. And sometimes you can't never get, believe, can't never. Sometimes in the process to get there, you have to go through the mess. And some of the mess, whether it's, I'm just going to retract here, the mess, I created the mess because I invited the energy of the chaos so that I can open up a new door, a new phase, a transformation. So from that mess, I can create the beauty. I can create the organization. I can create the feeling of comfort, safety. That's life. Whether or not life has been very smooth to you, or whether or not life has been up and down, it is us who created them all. It's going to be a long conversation if I pull all my knowledge in this, just to say this. At the end of the day, what we want to achieve is that we walk through this life with the beauty and peace and calmness and harmony that's already within us, that we no longer question whether we're doing this right or wrong, good or bad. And there's really no mistake. It's just part of what it is that we have to go through. So in the process of me saying all this, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, from me to my body, and then from my body to me, I sense a peacefulness where I allow myself to forgive myself. I allow the things that has been support me and hold me together to say back to me that, hey, I forgive you, even though I know you sometimes torture yourself with some stupid diet, or on the opposite end, you just be like eating stuff that we all know that you probably should not be eating. We all know that you like a spicy food, but you know that the digestion system cannot afford that level of spiciness. So having my own stomach say, all right, I forgive you, gave me kind of like, oh, okay, I'm forgiven. Because sometimes, not sometimes, but how much of our time have we released and forgive ourselves? I feel like forgiving ourselves probably the hardest work that forgiving myself is the hardest work that ever, I have to consciously do. And before, I would be overanalyzing it, over-intellectualizing a lot, especially in ceremonies and things like that. But with a simple prayer of, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I was able to release all those judgment that I unconsciously hold, or the mistakes that I've done, which I call stupid mistake because I know I could avoid it. But at that time, it was what my soul wanted to experience, what felt like the most justified, balanced, harmonious things that I had to do, not out of just rebellion, but it was what is needed, innocence. And as much as I've done a lot of work around it, some part of it was still creating that limitations or boundaries so that whenever I walk through life, especially in new experiences, this becomes my playpen, right? The boundaries that border the playpen so that I don't repeat the same mistake, so I don't suffer, so I don't go into pain, so I don't feel the rejections or the shame around it, which is wonderful. We have this automatically within us. However, at the same time, as we're expanding, the feeling of these experiences hold us back because we feel like we still need to feel always safe, protected, and especially for something that is big and that is different than what we've experienced before, something that require us to have courage to be responsible for our own energy, of our own actions, for our own identity, and for our own whatever else that you want to do, right? Doesn't mean that you cannot have those safety, but the next level of safetyness you probably have to cross with feeling kind of like, oh, what is this? Oh my God, this decision is scary. What's going to happen next? Because our subconscious mind will not remember the exact details of, trust me, You will never do the same stupid mistake twice or over and over unless you do love and enjoy the problem that comes with creating this mistake. However, so the subconscious knows, oh, okay, subconscious does not really pay attention of the same mistake, but the feeling or the experiencing of stepping into those mistakes, the inability to see past through what we have right now, the unknown, the chaos of not having everything in front of us, not have everything in control by us, feeling that is something that we really want, but sometimes our mind can't catch up because we don't really have the whole scenario in front of us. So all of those, I feel, as much as I know consciously, hey, I know I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm more aware. I have more wisdom. I have my own check and balances in place. But when I need to step into more on trusting the flow of the universe, especially in my business and relationship, that part of wanting to survive and be safe, kicking in a big time. So as much as I say it and express it outwardly, I want this, or I'm ready for this, or I'm ready. But there's this one thing that pulls me, that unconsciously, even I don't remember, I might not fully conscious about it, but somebody else caught it for me and said, look, even your words are expressing those. So this is the beauty of having more consciousness of what we do, of how this body system, physical system, mind, body, spirit connections can help us through the next phase of awakening. I feel this I keep saying new moon, but it's actually full moon. I feel like a lot of us are being called to pay really good attention what it is that we've hold ourselves back from, that might not be so conscious right now, that could be very well be in their subconscious and really, planted 6 feet down or even further than 6 feet, that is so deep in your subconscious that you cannot see yourself. So work through with practices, meditations. If you do have a very good meditation, mindfulness practice, write down every single thoughts, words that come out your mouth as you're speaking to other people, and find people who can be your best allies, who can help you see your own limitations that you impose on yourself, that are open to not judge you, but help to see your blind spot. And I'm so grateful that I'm starting to meet with a lot of these people that I can fully allow myself to be seen, because that's the hardest part, being able to be seen 100% without feeling judged, and yet at the same time being acknowledged for who you are, as the good and the hidden self, the light and the shadow. And for you to also prepare your heart to receive all the guidance that you need. That's also not an easy trait for me, not an easy trait to have, because I grew up with a cultural training to not show who you are, especially your weaknesses, and you have to always show your strength, your strong face, so that nobody's taking advantage of you. So again, little things like that can become something that will hinder your own progress. So this full moon period is asking you to really do a lot of self-inspection. And especially if you've been feeling something is either weighing you down mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it might even show up in your physical body. You might feel like you're stuck. You might feel like your whole business or profession that you're walking on right now just does not fit that it makes any sense anymore, you don't find joy in your day-to-day life, that will be one that I would say be really aware. Because if you're doing things without joy and happiness, you're creating stress in your life. And when stress is created, it's going to show up in your body in a lot of physical ailments, which I will not recommend you go there. So use this time to reflect, inspect, do the work, transform your situation. And I hope you reconnect with that part of you, the spark of life, the fire, the passion that needs to relit, because I feel my light was dimmed down because I was feeling a lot of fear, chaos. And I was hard at working to serve others, and I forgot to tend my own fire. And I hope that you who are receiving this message will reconnect to that part of you to tend that fire, because we need that fire to give us the guidance to where to the energy, to move our energy, to focus our energy. Because with that fire, we can all create, come fully alive, be of service in a more easy, relaxed, and yet lighting up the whole world, which I feel like we all need to start owning that part of us that we all in our center has a lot of light that wants to come out. And this light is the one that will influence people around you to then own those lights again. And if we are worried about politics, war, and yada yada yada, start from you, start from relighting that light, because that's how the universe works. We are all connected. If we sense that things are dimmed, that's because something part of us is also being dimmed. So that's our work, is to relight that spark and be our creative, wholesome, whole, and what's the word that I was mentioning earlier? Wholesome, grounded, and energetic, and so focused, because that's who we are in essence. Okay. So let's get into our card today. I hope the message is received. I know I had a few that I needed to speak, few points that I need to speak, but I allowed my speech to also be guided. And I trust the universe, trust all the hands that are playing in this time, that the right people who are listening to this will receive the message fully as intended in the way that it needs to be. So it is. Okay. Card number 1. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Start tuning in to the energy of the card. Maybe you start to see a symbol, color, feeling, words, and allow them to just come through your mind's eyes. Wonderful. Card number 2. Again, close your eyes, tune in, notice what shows up for you. Okay. Now, card number 3. Wonderful. I just realized that even though I'm connected with my headset, the Zoom did not connect my audio with the headset. So I do hope that you do get my voice clear enough. Yeah, interesting, eh? Okay, all the best. Card number 1. It is spring. Oh, let me just move the, okay. The winter is in the back, the light's starting to get brighter, and the numerology is 17. Let me see. Yep, 17. 1 plus 7, 8. So there's a Saturn-like energy going with this card, which is an energy of commitment, devotion, time. 8 also symbolizes infinity. So spring card symbolizes as we are, so we'll just take the symbol of time, right? Spring symbolizes the time of change, a new season of things brightening up. So this is a time of blossoming coming to you, to your own self, maybe something that you've been working hard to accomplish, starting to see it blossoming. It represents also a period of growth or renewal, fresh beginnings, much like the energy of the full moon right now. It also signifies a shift from something that's more kind of like introspective to something that is more bright, full outward facing, just like I mentioned, like use this energy of full moon to really get really into do your own reflective and inner work, but at the same time knows that your light is coming out, that is now shining outward, where you're pretty much like lighting up a dark room, and now you're starting to see all the possibilities. Such a great card to receive. And during this time, you might find yourself filled with inspiration and creativity. This is probably during this time in full moon, as you're doing your reflective work, start envisioning what's new for you, whether it's a business venture or what you want to manifest next, taking stock of everything that you have experienced up to today, what happened work, and what can you change so that it's or tweak so that it can work better. Explore all the pursuits that you have done and created, and start feeling it in your body. What's next? Like, what gives me a bigger juice of yes, of that sounds of the helicopter of like, yes, this is round and this is going to break grounds, and it's so focused and energized. So this is a great time to do that, take a stock of what you've created or for the experience and envision what's next. For a relationship, a time to also set a new intention. Maybe some things needs to be said, okay, that was that, and this is where we're going to move forward to or with. Encourage a sense of renewals, intentions, what you want to create together with your partner, or in any kind of relationship, so that you can blossom fully, naturally, without having to always think, oh, I have to do this. Strategically, this is what I have to go or create. Have the intention, allow the energy to be focused in that intentions, and be supported by the universe to manifest. Because it's spring has sprung, the energy is just like pop up. There's a lot of vibrations. Then we might, especially after coming from a very cold and very slow winter time. Slow winter time could also mean like a lot of reflective time. When the energy suddenly goes out and more alive, just be mindful that there could be a tendency of being impatient. You want things to just like, okay, move now. Think about the big picture. Again, envisioning is a great things to do during this full moon. Wait until the phase of the full moon until you start to see where things are going or where your energy needs to be focused on. So allow this time to just be you. Embrace all the learnings. Envisions what's next. Focus on the big picture. Allowing. Be in stillness. Write down your goals. Go out to mountain, do hiking. Maybe during the full moon time, just go outside and do a connection, reestablishing a connections with the cosmos, and ask whatever that needs to be cleared so that you can have a full space to receive all the opportunity, insights, ideas to step fully forward to what's next. Okay? So that's card number 1. Card number 2, we have the Earth. This is the Earth heart. If you remember from last week's card, this card was showing up. So if you do receive this again, then the time is really ripening. So you're still in the same energy holding you forward. If this is new for you, I love this card. It's just earth, and there's the blossoming again, a message of blossoming that comes from within the earth's heart. There's a rose that's appearing that is about ready to push through all the layers of the earth to manifest into something that is abundance. Green, blue signifies abundance. And the card is has a numerology of 52. 52 plus 2 is 7. And 7 is spiritual. So I feel like this is a great time for you to put yourself back into your spiritual journey or spiritual practices. Do inner journey work toward understanding and connecting with your own core, the core of who you are, your value, much like you're tapping into the energy of the earth, so that you can feel grounded in what it is that you want to create or manifest next. It's not about this, it's about this, and about being solid in your foundation, in your value, in your potential. This is also a good time to allow yourself to feel like I don't have to do everything myself. Allow yourself to be supported, nurtured, because earth is also signifies or symbolize the feminine energy, the divine feminine. And allow the divine feminine to hold you, to cradle you, to nurture you during this time, during this full moon period. Earth holds mystery within its core. So maybe there's an untapped potential and wisdom within yourself that wants you to go deep and feel its presence, acknowledge it. This is something that you probably have to do an excavating, like one of my clients, like, yeah, I feel like I'm excavating, finding the treasures within myself, doing the excavation work to tap into who I am. So this could also be a time for you to do that. Start to explore what's underneath the surface of who you are and discover your true essence. This could potentially be a new beginning with something that is blossoming, right? Could be a new love or a new business venture, new partners, new business partners. And again, that's why I feel like the calling is to also get really deep in your essence, to your core, your value. Because as the blossoming of new opportunity wants to come forward, you need to know your GPS, your own inner GPS, what to say yes to and what to say no to. And even when it feels like it's a resistance, but if it is serving your value, maybe the resistance is just like what I was mentioning earlier, a subconscious fear that you need to face during this time and see it yourself and say, do I really want this resistance to be here? Do I really want to stop myself instead of honoring who I am and my value? Because that's basically the step of you fully embracing your authenticity, is to not allow the resistance to persist, to not playing small anymore, to really honor who you are, your core, deep down who you truly are. Whether it's in self-expressions, in the way that you behave, in the way that you're thinking, all of this needs to come out because your true self, your highest potential wants to come through. Okay, so I put some more descriptions in the writing part. Feel free to click down below for a link to read all of them. Okay, the last card, Chaos. Masa confusa. I know it looks so dark. Tendency is when you start to see a card that is dark like that, you're like, oh no, what does that mean? Especially when it said chaos. I know that's kind of weird because the symbol on the moon in this card is actually a crescent, right? So it's a releasing. It's things get darkening, chaos, which is kind of the opposite polarity of where we are right now in the full moon phase, in the moon phase, where things are brightening up. So don't fear, because your job is to embrace chaos in this electrifying time of full moon, because full moon is a time to release. So as you're stepping into the chaos, things get chaotic. Know where you're holding on too tight, putting yourself too close where you don't and cannot see the beauty that is being presented to you as part of this time. As much as it feels so uncertain, confusions, daunting, you feel like whatever I do in my manifestation is not working. I've tried so many things and other people seems to be able to do this so easy, I can't do it. And I've heard this so many times in manifestation, but as I learned, when we are entering this state of chaos, a profound transformation is waiting. And on the opposite of it is unexpected opportunities, because sometimes we have to step into this. This is very opposite of Virgo, who wants to be in control, who needs to stay organized. A Virgo being put in uncertainty can really go crazy, right? Grasping and holding on in an old pattern and old things, because this is the only way that I know it's working. But what if there's another way of this? What if there's another solutions? What if there's another way of manifesting that you are being presented? That's your gift to receive. What is just, there's a beauty of this time that is going to give you an opening to something that was not possible before. That because of this, innovations are created. And because of this, anything that we hold dearly today, like this light, this computer, this glasses, this phone, are all being created out of chaos, right? Confusion, the state of confusion, where things are just not working out the way that we wanted. You know, in some part of our life, we're probably seeing the chaos in our finance. And we are all stepping into more and manifesting wealth, but at the same time, our finances just suddenly go, and we just don't know what to do. And during this time, it's really potent for us to start seeing where we are, who we are, things that created this chaos, thinks that maybe it's time that we say, okay, I'm going to face this. Because when you continue resisting, that means you're continuously blinding yourself from the things that you can transform, transmute at this moment. So just embrace this natural path, part of our journey, by saying, okay, God, universe, I'm ready. In this midst of chaos, tell me what I need to let go. In this midst of chaos, show me who I am. In this midst of chaos, show me the light. Show me where I can find the pearl, the diamond, the crystal, so I can light up my path, even though I cannot see the whole thing, but I can start to see my path that is near to me, so that I can step fully with a little bit more confidence rather than being in the midst of darkness and chaos, right? This trust and surrendering to the higher power is required when you are in this phase. And doesn't mean that your manifestation is not working, doesn't mean wealth never come to you. You just have to hold on and trust that, in fact, in the opposite of all this not working out, things are not coming together, you are being guided to something better. You're being guided to something that you never thought. The abundance can come this way, wealth can come this way, that there are things that right now part of you are being asked to let go, to break away from, to release and remove yourself from, so that you can free being who you are, your divine self, fully connected, in alignment, in harmony with nature, with divine, with God, with universe. Because the universe, God, is always fair. We sometimes judge ourselves, or we judge God or universe for not being fair. But if you fully embrace who you are in this time, to be healing you, to transform you, use the Ho'oponopono prayer to release the chain, the boundaries that you put and create between you and others, you and God, you and universe, and you to yourself, so that you can manifest powerfully the way that your soul, your design has asked you to. All right, my friend, that's it for today. Masters going across, receive, take what you can, leave what doesn't resonate with you. If you have any questions, I'm gonna leave all my details in the box down below. Until next time. And next time you see me, I'll be on a different side of the planet. I will see you. And for everyone, happy full moon. Embrace who you are. Embrace who you are. Be happy, be in harmony, reconnect yourself to who you truly are. Reconnect yourself that just wants that, yes, this is me, that spark, that joy that wants to come alive, because that's your destiny. Until next time, bye now.